Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday, August 25th. I know that because yesterday was PJ's birthday, our crew member back there, Bobby's son. And today is actually my son's birthday, Matthew Taylor. Happy birthday, Matthew Taylor. These guys were born a year apart. My son was right down the street at Saddleback Hospital, and PJ says he was born at Providence. Ask him where his younger siblings were born if you ever meet him. It'll be a fun story for you. All right, on today's show, let's take a look at what we have here. We're going to talk to the folks from OC Lab. Brian Mullenbruch is going to be here, and he's going to talk about like how a storm actually inspired his whole idea for his mobile lab service. It's kind of a fun story. Stay tuned for that. Sports Corner with Cole Young, and then we're going to talk about the pageant of the Masters as they wrap up this summer's festival down there. You're going to want to enjoy that one, so stay tuned for all that fun stuff. Let's stay informed. Hey, if you want to opt out of all the mail that comes to your house, well, we've got a great opportunity for you. You can go paperless when it comes to the mail you get right here from the Village folks. So don't miss out on the opportunity to opt out. If you're looking for ways to reduce clutter, save paper, and cut costs, here's a great opportunity to save on mutual mailings. You can email your delivery preferences to information@vmsinc.org by Friday, September 9th. Choosing to go paperless option can save approximately $7.50 per household. And if about 12,000 households went paperless, the organization here at Mutual would save $90,000 a year. So let's make that happen and go paperless, you know, good for the environment and all that fun stuff. Let's take a look outside. It's a little bit cloudy still this morning. It's kind of starting to clear up out there, but we had some morning clouds. Going to be 81, and let me just tell you, you're not going to need a jacket for a little while. You can put those away. It's going to start getting warmer and warmer as you can see we go. Really uncomfortable by Tuesday, so enjoy the nice weather while you can over the weekend for sure, because it's really going to warm up during the week next week. Hey, our sunrise and sunset, we got that for you too. And we're going all the way out to France for this picture. Lori Malawa sent this one in. Thank you very much for that. You don't have to go all the way to France, by the way, if you want to send us pictures. If you want to do that, well, you just send it to us right here at the station. We have an email for you, and we're going to be able to tell you to make sure you send your name, just like we do with Lori, and where you took the picture, and make sure it's a horizontal picture so we can put it on the air, fits in our formatting here. Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com is the email address. You send those pictures, and we'll put your picture right here on the show. All right, speaking of the show, we got a meeting for you to take a look at, and then when we come back, we'll be talking to folks from OC Labs. Stay with us.
Hi there, we're Orange County Labs. Please call us today for your VIP concierge phlebotomist in-home lab collection appointment. We simply come to you in the safety and convenience of your very own home for any lab test. As a covered benefit at no cost to you, we will draw your blood for your physician with results the very next day. One call to Orange County Labs does it all. We look forward to seeing you all soon.
From OC Labs, we want to welcome Brian Mullenbruch back to the program. Thanks for joining us. I see you're wearing your weather jacket. We had the storm blow through a little while back, but you know, that was kind of the inspiration behind what you guys did at OC, the mobile lab part of your work, right?
Absolutely. It's kind of timely now that it's been raining and we survived the California hurricane, but that's great to be here. And I was reflecting on the way here what to talk about. And you know, the real inspiration for our VIP concierge mobile phlebotomy services, you know, came last winter when, you know, I was making a call at a medical building, and I watched a gentleman cross the road in his walker. He had a boot on. He was carrying a oxygen tank and an umbrella. Like, it was a nearly impossible circumstance for this
Right. gentleman.
And I watched him cross in front of me and then try to go up the ramp, and it was just painful. And I really wanted to walk out and help him, you know. And then we just thought that, you know, he's trying to walk into a draw station of a major competitor of ours. And I thought, you know, we have all these cars and all these amazing phlebotomists that are so tender-hearted, and how could we help them? So we really launched our mobile phlebotomy units. We turned those cars into, in-home and in-office collections for basically any lab test.
And so much of what we do now has now become mobile, right? DoorDash and Uber and all of the things that are out there. Like, there's no need for someone to have to go, and especially the residents of Laguna Woods community who are, they have the mobility challenges in the first place, so many of them do. And so what a great service for people to be able to kind of take advantage of.
Yeah, it's really been wonderful to be a part of this program with you guys, and we've enjoyed working with all the residents of Laguna Woods, but the amount of exposure that you've been able to provide for us, I mean, we've been expanding, week after week to support this community, and we really love the people here. And we're building those relationships one person at a time, and our phlebotomists are absolutely enjoying it.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about the testing in general. What services do you provide? Is it a full range of testing that you can do with the mobile service and at your location in Huntington Beach?
Yeah, basically we're a full service, high complexity lab, so we're doing basically everything here at our own laboratory in Huntington Beach. So instead of samples being collected at various draw stations and sent to either San Diego or Calabasas, with our two major competitors, it's all done here locally, and so we can collect a multitude of different sample types, and we can accept any order from really any doctor or any laboratory order, and we convert it to an OC Labs order, according to the doctor's instructions. And quite frankly, there's some new enhancements to the rights of patients where they can actually order their own testing without a doctor's order,
Okay, they can just do a self-serve kind of a thing?
Yeah, so last year we also revamped our website. There's a shop on our website, orangecountylabs.com, and they can self-order basically any test, and I think those are really good for patients that, maybe they do their routine, physical stuff with their doctors, but maybe you want your hormones, or maybe
I want to expand this toxicology, like, hey, how am I, have I been exposed to anything?
Yeah, and it's just simple. Order it online. We come to you the next day. We collect the sample. We run the test, and you have the results. Within 24 to 48 hours, depending on the test. So super convenient for everybody.
Now, when it comes to this community, a lot of folks are on their fixed insurance, and so do you guys work with all the insurance companies? Do you also help the patients in terms of, like, is the mobile service a little bit different than the lab, going directly into the lab, and how does that coverage kind of work?
Sure. So what most people don't know is that their insurance actually has a reimbursement amount for mileage and for collection.
Oh, okay.
So we accept all the major commercial payers: Medicare, Medi-Cal, CalOptima, United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, all the PPOs we accept, and then we just simply bill the insurance for a nominal amount for the collection and the mileage. And so there's really nothing out of pocket ever for a resident of Laguna Woods.
Okay. Now, we also had this kind of new wave of COVID going around, and we're heading into the kind of fall and the flu season. You're also still doing COVID testing and those kinds of things for folks, both mobile and at your labs?
Yeah, we've never really stopped.
Okay.
But really, last February, the volume really dropped down, but now we've been seeing an uptick. I don't know what to expect, but we still, all of our machines were upgraded in 2022 and 2023. So all of our machines are brand new. Our capacity is even bigger, and our accuracy is off the charts. And we just had our federal inspection, and we're like one of the top labs in California. So we're super excited.
That's perfect. How did you get into this? How did you decide this is my calling?
That's a great question. Well, quite frankly, I was going to school at Long Beach State, and one of my friends, she had just gotten a job with LabCorp and recommended that I work with them. And so I was lucky enough to start working at LabCorp. 6 years of LabCorp training and drilling into my DNA about how to do things in a certain way. And I just try to apply that in everything I do. But I love the industry, and primarily it's just I love helping people. So that's my #1 motivation. And if I can, take care of the people that I care about, that makes me feel good. But I love the industry. It's what I think I'm good at, and just happy I can create the the lab I've always wanted to create, and I tried to take little bits and pieces from my experiences at LabCorp and Westcliff and a few of the laboratories that I've consulted with.
Okay. Now this VIP service, I want to jump into this a little bit more. You come to my house, take me through the process of you coming to my home and doing the draws or doing the testing or whatever it might be in terms of what people should expect when somebody arrives at their house, because they're usually going to a lab and going to a room and that kind of thing. Yeah,
it's super simple. I mean, it can all start with a simple phone call and we'll do it all for you. But essentially, we'll simply schedule, a convenient time that's most comfortable for you. And then we'll be there on time. We're really impeccable about our timing. And then we spend about maybe 10 to 15 minutes with the patient. Mm-hmm. That's usually enough time to kind of get through some of the particulars of the paperwork, double check everything, and then do a comfortable draw or collection for the patient. And then that's it. We leave, we run the sample straight back to the laboratory and run the test, and then you have your results usually the next day.
Okay, so really like a maybe 30-minute process in total at the house?
Oh, that's going to be a lot less than that.
Less than that, okay.
It just depends on the patient, but I'll tell you, like, it's just super convenient, and then what you don't realize is that, you're in an environment that's really well controlled. It's just you and the phlebotomist. It's not, it's not a bunch of other people, and there is anxiety with, trying to get somewhere on time and then wait and then deal with other variables. It's very relaxing. So for those that have mobility issues or such, I mean,
just the convenience factor alone.
So, and to me, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
And I encourage, we invite everybody to take, an opportunity to at least try it out. I think you'll never go back once you experience it. But it's really the way, like you mentioned, like Uber and everything else, we're all going to mobile, and it's actually less expensive and less challenging, just coming in and getting it out in 10 minutes.
Right. You're kind of like taking away from the waiting room process of being at your office, and expands your ability to kind of do everything. So great service here for the folks in the village. I would recommend it. Rain or shine, no matter what the weather is, you guys come out and do that. So Brian, thank you much for OC Labs. We got the information on the screen about where you can get the websites up there and the phone number, and really welcome you back to the program. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be right back.
Mama used to
Where would you go if you could go anywhere? What would you do if you could do anything? How would you fill your days? Who would you spend them with? When you retire, what will you explore? Let us show you how a complete retirement plan can open your world to endless possibilities. Explore your retirement.
Welcome back to this Friday's edition of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and with the NFL season starting in just 13 days, I figured I would dedicate this entire episode to previewing the upcoming year. So, with that said, I'll get right to it. Starting with the AFC, there are plenty of teams with loads of talent and Super Bowl potential. What better place to start than with the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs? Coming off of his second MVP win in just 5 years, Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs to a 14-3 season last year, which led to their 5th straight AFC Championship appearance, their 3rd Super Bowl appearance since 2020, and their 2nd Super Bowl victory. Mahomes has already cemented himself as the face of the NFL and one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and I truthfully don't see this season going that much different for them. The AFC West does have a lot of competition, however, with the Chargers looking to rebound from their embarrassing playoff exit last year, and the Broncos looking to rebound from an overall embarrassing season last year. Denver spent their offseason revamping their offensive line and bringing in Hall of Fame coach Sean Payton, giving them the potential to be a Super Bowl caliber team. Other than the Chiefs, the top dogs of the AFC will continue to be the Bengals and Bills, with some newcomers on their tails. The Dolphins were a top team last season before injuries got the best of them right before playoffs, but with most of their roster returning plus some new added talent like Jalen Ramsey, Miami will be a contender late in the playoffs. I fully expect Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville to pick up right where they left off last season and win the AFC South again. And lastly, I couldn't mention the AFC without mentioning the new up-and-coming team, the New York Jets. The Jets shocked the football world this offseason when they traded for future Hall of Famer and MVP and Super Bowl champion Aaron Rodgers. Mix in these factors with a roster that has the reigning offensive and defensive rookie of the years, a stacked defensive line, and a young, proven head coach, the Jets are going to be a very dangerous team this season. Bottoming out the AFC will most likely be teams like the Browns, Texans, Titans, Raiders, and the Colts, especially since they're shopping to trade Jonathan Taylor. Moving to the NFC, the safest bet will be that the Philadelphia Eagles will be the team to beat yet again this year. Motivated from last year's Super Bowl loss and returning with most of their talented roster, the Eagles will come out angry and will dominate some teams this season. In that same category will be the 49ers. San Francisco looked like the clear Super Bowl favorite last season before their entire quarterback room went down with injuries. The 49ers still have the top defense in the NFL, followed by a talented offense and top-tier head coach. The Vikings have been just on the cusp of greatness for a few seasons now, and 2023 seems like it's the do-or-die year for Minnesota. The Detroit Lions were just one game away from making the playoffs last season, and I truly believe they will continue building a strong team this year and make a deep playoff run behind their explosive offense. Teams like the Packers, Giants, and Bears could surprise some people and punch a ticket to the postseason, but each team has some big question marks, and only time will tell just how good they really are. The Arizona Cardinals, along with the entire NFC South, will most likely be the worst teams of the NFC. Time for my way too early predictions. The playoff teams for the AFC should be the Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Jaguars, Dolphins, Jets, and Ravens. With a tough conference, other teams like the Chargers, Broncos, Steelers, and Patriots will be right in the postseason conversation, if not in the playoffs. For the NFC, the playoff picture will be the Eagles, Vikings, 49ers, and because someone has to win the NFC South, the Panthers, along with the Giants, Seahawks, and Lions. My way too early prediction for the Super Bowl matchup is the Philadelphia Eagles against the Cincinnati Bengals. I might adjust this as time passes, but for now, those are my yearly predictions. College football week 0 kicks off this Saturday, including the USC Trojans, so enjoy our first taste of live and meaningful football. Come back next Friday for some more sports news, updates, and highlights right here on Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend.
And from the Festival of the Arts, Pageant of the Masters, we want to welcome Sharvi Higuchi to the program. And I went last night. I think I mentioned that in our open. I went last night. It's a great show. Tell us about this year's theme in the show.
Well, thank you first for having me here.
Absolutely.
And it is an absolutely amazing show. The pageant is this year. The theme is Art Colony in the Company of Artists. And so the premise is we're traveling around the world and throughout history to different art colonies where artists assisted one another, inspired one another. And it's really quite a remarkable show because we travel in places that we've never been before. We go to the Harlem Renaissance period. We also go up to LA and look at Chicano art. And we do end up down in Laguna Beach because after all, Laguna Beach is a major art colony.
Right. And I think that's probably, this is probably the most enjoyable one I've been to. I haven't been in about 5 years, but I've been to probably 4 or 5 before that. And I would say we're looking at some behind the scenes of the preparation and people. When people don't know, let me get this, people don't realize that people are standing in these portraits.
That's correct.
And I'm telling you, it's amazing because you go, oh, we're going to see this. And I think they say, oh, look, they're standing as statues, or look at that thing. But when they see the giant portraits come out, they say, oh, isn't that nice? They recreated a work of art in a giant form. And then you guys show the assembly of that, of the making of, and everybody goes, whoa,
Those
wow.
are real people.
Yeah, the people who haven't been there before, they have that. I was looking at real people this whole time.
Exactly. So as you said, we recreate works of art with real people.
Right.
The great thing about those real people, believe it or not, they're all volunteers. It takes roughly about 500 volunteers to put on our show, but it is a show because it's accompanied by wonderful music. We have a narrator that's telling you about the piece of art that's being representative, and there's some surprises in the show this year, a little bit of singing.
There were some, I'd never seen that before, I don't think. I don't recall ever seeing like kind of a musical numbers going on during the show, which is really kind of, I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're getting really some positive feedback on this show, and I really encourage your the Laguna Village Laguna folks to come out and see it.
Yeah, it's great. And it's not just the pageant, it's not just in the audience, but also there's the Festival of the Arts that happens anytime before that. That's going on pretty regularly, and your ticket gets you in to that as well.
Sure, yeah, you just hit the big tip. If you have a Pageant of the Masters ticket, you can come to the Festival of Arts all summer long, and you get to see 120 artists. They're all artists from Orange County area. It's just the creme of the artists. It is a fine art juried show, and so every medium that you could possibly imagine. We have woodwork and painting,
and we're seeing
sculpture.
Some of that now on the screen. And how do you pick the artists? How do you get in? Are you a member? You have to be a member?
No, it's actually juried. So there's this juried process in which the group actually will select the artist to be in the show. It is very stringent, and so as I said earlier, it's really an honor to be selected to be in the Festival of Arts.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I enjoy that just as much, talking, because you get to come up and talk to the artists. Most of them are there, or they have a representative, but a lot of them are sitting right there. It's one or two are actually doing little sketches and paintings while we're there, and you're looking at the art, so you get to see their process.
Absolutely, that is part of it. We even have tours, nightly tours, so you can go around and visit each of the different artists' work. But they are on hand. You can talk to them. People encourage them to find out more about their artwork, what inspired them, maybe even a little bit about their process. But it really connects you more to the art, I think, as well as the artists themselves.
And so a lot of them do commission work. So if you're so inspired and you want maybe something your own, I mean, obviously with the price, but they'll do that. And most of the works are for sale there as well. And so that was kind of a neat thing to see some people just picking up some art while you're at the art walk.
Right. Well, that's how we started back over 91 years ago.
Like 1932.
We started in 1932, and it was a way to really support our local artists and give them a way to have a showcase, to be able to showcase their work. The Fest Arts itself is a nonprofit art organization, and as part of our mission, we help support these artists to be able to have a place to sell their art, and they have an instant audience with all those people seeing the Pageant of the Masters. Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's a great show this year. And the art colony concept, I thought it was really interesting to kind of hit the history of these art colonies from around the world. And, with Monet in France and the Garden of Genève. Well, I can't say the word right now. I have to see the notes in front of you, but and how they kind of went against the traditions of art, and you see all these emerging movements because of these colonies.
Absolutely, and I think that's the creativity, the innovation of artists, all of these artists coming together, and they come up with unique ideas. As I said, one of my favorite I'm really excited about is the Chicano artists that are being showcased. They're in the second act. There's two artists.
Do not leave after intermission.
Do not leave.
The second act is amazing.
So Wayne Healy and David Botella are two artists that are being featured. Their artwork is actually at the Cheech Museum, and we're very excited. They're going to be coming to see the show. So
just Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong, who most people think of as a comedian, but is a amazing art collector and supporter. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're excited to be able to showcase these two works that are kind of unexpected for the pageant.
Absolutely. Roger Kuntz.
Roger Kuntz.
He's featured as the leader of the colony here in Laguna Beach. I got to say, I'd never heard of him until last night.
Okay, well, that's good. See, we're doing exactly what we're supposed to do.
And I feel like I've been enough, and I've lived here so long, and I can't believe I've never heard of him.
Okay, I'm just going to real quick about the pageant is that what we're trying to do is teach you something about art.
There you go.
We succeeded. I'm so excited about that. And yes, Roger Kuntz was certainly definitely a leader in the arts in the community of Laguna Beach, and it's really wonderful to see some of his works recreated on the pageant stage. And of course, why we call call it Art Colony and the Company of Artists is that's where the pageant was also born. And
Right.
that was in the company of the Art Colony or the Festival Arts artist at the time. So really, the pageant started 90 years ago as a publicity stunt.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really remarkable. Yeah.
So you got still tickets. There's still some shows available, and your final
tickets.
night, you got some special guests coming in.
We on the final Saturday night.
Final Saturday, yes.
Yes, we have our big fundraiser night, and it's called our Magic Gala. And this year we are really celebrating 90 years of living pictures. But helping us out is going to be Sergio Mendez. He's going to be performing. We're so excited. And Paula Abdul is going to be introducing the pageant and saying a few words. And she's actually a real fan of the pageant, so we're so happy to have her. So absolutely, try to grab tickets for that night. But grab them. We're open through September 1st. If you can't make it on August 26th. And we hope people come visit. You can buy the tickets at pageanttickets.com, or you could go to foapom.com.
Fantastic. Sharbi Higuchi, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And make sure to get out to the pageant if you haven't. It's definitely worth the trip, folks, so make sure you do that. When we come back, we're going to preview our Monday movie. Stay with us.
I'm Stephanie Landon, talking to you today about prostate health. The prostate is a gland found only in men. It's part of the male reproductive system, and it's shaped sort of like a walnut. Prostate cancer is extremely common as men age. In its early stages, there are generally no signs of prostate cancer. The most effective way to find it early is through regular PSA screenings with your physician.
And welcome back. Let's take a look at the Friday film before we head out for the weekend here. It's going to be After the Wedding. It is a foreign film, so we're going to have subtitles for both the 2 p.m. and the 6 p.m. showings, but it's worth the effort, folks. Some of these foreign films can be really fun. This is called After the Wedding, and it's brought to us by Pacific Financial Planners. Let's keep that international theme going as we jump into announcements. We got an Italian buffet coming up for you on Monday, August 28th. Hopefully you'll enjoy that one. Tickets are on sale now at Clubhouse 5 office. And it's going to be at Clubhouse 5 is where the dinner is going to be, 5 p.m., $27 per person. You can call 949-597-4382 for more information, or recreation@vmsinc.org. Let's take one last look outside before we get out of here. It's going to be a warm weekend, but it's going to be a very hot week next week. So get out there and enjoy the weekend weather while you can. Run those errands, do whatever you want to do. We'll have a few of those AM clouds sticking around for a little while today, and then on Saturday, mostly sunny, and then the temperatures really bolster up there. So tomorrow on This Day, we have the Korean Bio Senior Club with Pearl and Young Lee, and Wellness in the Woods. So make sure you stay tuned for that one on Saturday, tomorrow on This Day. I'll be there too. Bonus. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of This Day. You can watch our program at 9 a.m., 12:30, and 5 p.m. right here on Village TV. For everybody here at Village TV, we hope you make this day a great one.